UCLA, you guys you played him a couple years ago. You didn't play him last year. Haven't played Brett Hundley. It's the first time in conference this season that you play a team that you didn't play last year. Does it change anything being unfamiliar with some of the guys that you're going to see?
A little bit, in the fact that we just haven't played them in a while, so we don't necessarily know their tendencies personally. We can pick up a lot about a team by watching film, but for the most part, we just got to go by what we know about them from previous years and just how their system works. And the more that we watch film, the more that we can see how other teams have played them, we can get familiar with them that way. We've done that with several teams. Like, we haven't played Tennessee, and while we went out there, we played against them. It happens in bowl games and things like that. So there's nothing about familiarity that's going to change a game plan. You just got to study.
What do you think about Brett Hundley? Again, a guy you obviously haven't played against, but from watching him on film.
He's a good player. I think he's probably one of their best players on the team, and he makes that offense run. He makes everything click. So that's definitely the guy that we've got to make sure that we're ahead of. Quarterbacks, they do a lot of studying in the film room. And they have to make a lot of checks. A lot of things are on their shoulders, and he seems to handle that well. So for us to be able to make things harder for him, that's what's going to help us get this victory.
It sounds like they're going to start 3 true freshmen offensive linemen. Is that something you guys want to try to exploit and maybe try to rattle those guys who don't have a lot of experience on the offensive line?
Maybe we could, maybe we couldn't. It's up to them. It depends on how they handle everything. Those guys, if they're ready to play, then they're going to go out there and they're going to give it their best. Of course, having your first couple starts is going to make you a little nervous, but if they put those guys out there, maybe they're ready to play. So we can't underestimate somebody just because they're young.
A college football game day or college game day is coming here. Obviously, that ramps up kind of the atmosphere around campus. Do you notice a difference between a week when college game day is coming versus when they're not? Just walking around campus, going to class, stuff like that?
Not really. You kind of hear passing comments where people be like, "Oh, did you hear college game day is going to be here?" Something like that. But for the most part, I don't really notice too much. I guess I'm a little too busy. My mind's all over the place when I'm on campus because I have so many things to worry about. But, every once in a while you hear people talking about it, hear people talk about football. But the funny thing is like, if football players walk by somebody that's talking about football, they won't say anything. I guess it's because they just don't know or something. I don't know. But that's the funny thing about being on campus. When they're talking about football, you walk right by them, and it's like, oh, shh, shh, shh. They try and be quiet. They don't want to say anything around you.
They know who you are?
I don't know. I guess it's just like my backpack or something. I heard that a lot of people know what everybody's book bags look like. Even from the front, you can tell. So I guess that's kind of a dead giveaway. But I don't know. They may not. I wouldn't know personally. I don't go around asking do you know who I am?
Right. You ask them, what do you think of Brian Jackson? You got to go ask people.
If I did, they wouldn't know me very personally, so they'd probably be like, I don't really like him. I would not like to hear that response, so I just rather not worry about it at all.
Do you want to get recognized? Do you like that, walking around campus, or would you rather go incognito?
It'd be cool, but like I said, even if they do notice you, they probably wouldn't say anything to you anyway. Maybe not during school, outside of school, I guess. I don't know.
Right. So Nick Aliotti, your coach, got fined and in trouble for what he said after the game.
What did he say?
That Mike Leach was low class and full blank that they kept throwing the ball and they kept their starters in the game.
He got fined? Out of his pocket?
Yeah, $5,000.
For real?
For real. You didn't know that?
I don't even have $5,000 to give somebody.
You're not a defensive coordinator.
So you mean to tell me if I just say something that makes somebody mad, I got to give them $5,000?
You start swearing right now and going off on refs and other coaches.
$5,000.
I don't know what they would do for a player. Because they can't really fine a player, right?
Well, see, I'm pretty much broke, so they'll be like $5, not $5,000.
There you go. That's the equivalent, right?
Pretty much.
What's it like playing for him? A guy who's fired. That's not the first time that he'll kind of go off and stuff like that. What's it like playing for Nick Elliott?
He's a passionate coach, and judging by what you were telling me, I don't think necessarily he was mad at Leach. It was like he was trying to defend his players. It's like, be a good sportsman about it or something. I don't really understand what the deal was, but, I know that he's out there trying to defend his players, and he wouldn't go off on somebody unless he had a reason to or something. I don't think he meant any actual harm towards Leach himself. I just feel like, he's just trying to defend us. That's just what it sounds like from what you told me.
When you guys hear stuff like that, I assume you want, that's the type of coach you want, right? I mean, that's the type of guy you want to go play for and go out there and play for. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I like going out there playing for him. We have a good relationship. Laugh and joke all the time. He knows how to get serious when he needs to be. But, like, he's a good guy. So if anything ever happens, I'd always take his side because I know that he always means well. But, you say if you heard about it, but you're the one that told me about it.
That's
so.
right.